Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. I am not drinking anything. You know why? Because I am hopped up on tea. I just had like 3 cups of tea right before this. And so it's now starting to kick in and I can feel it. And so I'm getting really jittery and hyped up on it. So I don't need nothing else to drink. Don't need no caffeine. But I do have my cup mug because that is what's important. Period. Oh, we do have a panel full of cup mugs. Traitors edition. And usually, and this is the crazy part is, y'all, we've been sitting here this whole time, and I didn't even think to go get my cloak. I didn't get my full Traitors gear.
Oh, no, we didn't. God damn it.
We didn't do it.
Yo, it's just because, quite frankly, I don't even feel like the Traitors this season have gotten to their full Traitors gear yet. So I mean,
Jesus Christ,
not wrong. But when you can get your cup mug. Let's get back to that. Get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Unless your postal service is running a little behind, then it's a delay. But a delay is never a deny. Period. And if you ordered a cup mug,
the logo over here.
Oh, the new and improved cup mugs will have your logo here and here, so you can get your new and improved cup logo mug, or any of our beautiful merch. But if you ordered from me recently, it's coming. It will be a little slow, but it's coming, and that's not on the postal service. That's on me. I have to fix my Etsy shop, so that's just on me. But it's done. It's coming, and so it will be there. But yeah, get your cup mug or merch, any of it. Period.
And hi everybody, I'm Brook, and I'm passionate about pop culture. I feel like this has been a season of the Traitors. Thus far to this point. I'm drinking 2 things because, like Logan, I can never make up my mind. I'm drinking a generic bottle of water that's about like this much left. And then I'm trying something new today. I bought an Olipop cherry soda, and we're gonna see if I like it. It's allegedly healthier for you than drinking Coke. And I like Dr. Pepper, and this is a cherry soda like Dr. Pepper, so maybe I'll like it. But yeah, so I'm hoping it'll go well. But yeah. Hi.
Listen here, Olipop. If we'll take sponsorships and we'll have Brook test out and give an honest review on how it tastes, but not now because you don't sponsor us yet. You don't sponsor us yet, so you won't know. Anyway.
Really nice, actually.
Sponsor me. I will happily drink as many Olipops as I can.
Period. Me too.
But hello, I am Jack. I am your resident game designer of the panel, and I am never going to be inviting Alan Cumming to my wedding because his gifts are horrible.
Horrible gifts.
Horrible. What the heck? Take him off any RSVP list you have now. You do not know what he has.
Absolutely not. But we are here talking the Traitors US, episode 7. Y'all, it was an episode. It was an episode that happened, and we'll deep dive into all of it. But before we do, y'all know what to do. Y'all know my mission. If you've checked out this channel before, you know what the mission is this year. And some of you are answering the call. I see you joining, and I thank you. I appreciate all the new subscriptions we've had. Welcome to this channel. But if you haven't done so, and you're watching this, don't just be a looky-loo. Don't just be a viewer and just, view it just for the views. Click the subscribe buttons. We appreciate you subscribing to this channel. I appreciate it. But subscribe to this channel. Get our followers up. We're trying to get a million.
We're trying to get a million. Yeah, we went from 1,000 to a million.
That would be
real quick,
super amazing. But we're gonna start off a little bit smaller than a million. We're trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So help us do that. Everything else is lining up. You all are doing great. I appreciate you. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. We're going to continue to give you content all the time, on time. Make it early enough so it's relatable and it's still relevant in your mind. So we're going to do our part. We hope you do your part and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. But we also have 3 other channels you can subscribe to. If you're a fan of drag or drag race, we have a channel for you at the Cup Pod. If you're a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, the Cup ESC. And if you're a fan of WWE Wrestling, the Cup Ringside. It's all happening over there. We're doing our best to try to give you good content on a regular basis. So check out all of those channels, subscribe to all of those channels, hit the notification bells on all of those channels, including this one, so you will never miss when a single video drops. Also, if you need to listen to us on the go, and because you're a busy person, and we get you booked and busy, we get it. We have audio podcast channels for you to listen to, and we see y'all over there listening too. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, but check out all of our audio podcast links. They will be in the description below as well. And our Patreon is heating up, y'all. We are doing more and more stuff on our Patreon. Me and Jack already said, whatever happens, and if it's a competition against the channels versus the channels, me and Jack will win. We're
winning.
Win.
It's not a question.
We are
it's
competitive.
How much we beat them by.
The TV channel will devour. We're eating up, but you know what? I don't want to.
It's so weird whenever I hear people talk about that. It's like I'm the quick little fourth wall break here. I'm the only person that appears on all 4 channels.
I mean, on a regular basis.
On a regular basis,
on all 4 channels.
Yeah, Lana and Logan have shown up on all the channels at various points throughout the history of the channels.
Yes,
but like I'm the only one who's like, I'll show up for Dragula. I'll show up here for TV. I show up on ESC and ringside on the regular. So like, whenever people are like, if it's a competition between the channels, we're gonna win. I'm just like, yeah, TV. Woo.
I mean, I could honestly be on TV or ringside or heck, the main channel. I'm over there on all. I think the only channel I can't participate in is for ESC because I only on there once a year, maybe twice. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. But there's a lot of stuff about to go down in the Patreon. We are planning a lot, and we have a lot of stuff. If you want to know the panelists a little bit more, that is going to be the place where you can get to know us more, know who we are, know what we're about, and see the fun shenanigans that we have going on. So you want to join our Patreon. We are planning a lot for this year. So check all of that out. And of course, just follow all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff. Blue Sky, all that stuff. But enough about all the business stuff. Let's get into this episode because where we left off, man, the Traitors was in the tournament and they were not agreeing on anything. They didn't agree on anything. They weren't agreeing on who to murder. They were fighting amongst themselves because they had just come back off of Carolyn voting for Danielle voting for Rob. It was...
And
none of them going home.
Yeah, no, we still had a fully intact turret. So what are we gonna do now?
Now they're all just looking at each other like, so what do we do about this now? I don't know about y'all. I would have been like, how they were looking at me, like, where do we go from here? How do we fix this? Because nobody trusts anybody in here right now. And we can't even decide on who to murder for. Like, we can't even come up with the right person. Every time one person says something, the other person's like, nah, not that person. Well, what about this person? Nope, not this person. Well, what about this person? I don't want this person. What?
I mean, there are 2 ways to essentially resolve it. It's either you all figure out a name that none of you are attached through by literally running through the entire cast, or you just kind of agree to something and let someone have a massive failure because they murdered the wrong person, and you can just sit back and watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't here last week. I just want to quickly say something that I didn't get a chance to say last week. Wes Bergman was pushed. I am quite unhappy with this result. That is my man. I love him to death. I don't care how big of an asshole he is. He's delightful television. And I'm pissed he went home this early. However, comma, I think them getting Wes out single-handedly sunk someone's game here. And I am not mad about it. I am quite thrilled at that. If we had to sacrifice Wes, and I suppose the person who ended up murdered here, if we're calling him a sacrifice, to get this person out, I'm fine. I have no qualms.
One second.
It's okay. I just feel like some people just don't. I love Wes. I appreciated Wes. Well, I'm not gonna say I love Wes. I appreciated Wes on this show in this moment, and I thought that he was doing what needed to be done. I was a fan of his performance in this one, and I thought it was so dumb for the rest. Now I got why Rob did what he did, and let's be honest, Rob gave us a masterclass last week on how to work a round table. It was masterful. I watched it and I was like, I may not like this man personally, but game-wise, what he just did at that round table was masterful. And here's the thing. I think me and Logan said the same thing last week. I never thought in my lifetime I was going to give flowers to Rob, to Wes, and to Derek at the same time. Like, I never thought I was going to do that. But last week I had to give all three of them. I had to give all three of them their flowers at the same time because they showed us why they were the tops of the games that they played. Last week was incredible. Rob ate that round table up. Wes in turn ate the round table up. Derek in turn ate the round table up. Like he gave, which we'll see throughout this episode, he gave concrete evidence like any good detective would do. This also showed me, I was like, Derek is actually really good at his job. Like he probably was really good at his job, and I hate to say it because I don't trust cops, but he was probably really, really good at his job, and he laid this out like a well-laid case that he would be looking over, and he came to the table with concrete evidence that just lingered and lingered and lingered on into this episode. So I even had to give Rob, Derek, and Wes their flowers last week because it was a gamer's mind. My gaming brain was like, oh, I am in awe. This is what I want to see in games. This is what I want to see in players. They ate that up. They ate that up.
I do have a reservation about Wes. I do think while he did a decent job at the round table, he did 100% sink himself beyond fruition.
Oh, it was no coming back from him after a certain point.
Oh, no. Like, after he basically threatened everyone, they were all like, no, you're going home now. Like, you had a shot, but you're done. But, I mean, Derek did an amazing job, and I wish he had pushed harder. Wes did a pretty good job. But, yeah, no, Rob ran that shit.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I was actually the least impressed by Rob out of the three of them last week. And I think part of that comes down to the fact that Rob kind of just did what he's been doing, which is deflect, refocus on someone else, which is fine. I mean, when you're a traitor, that's kind of what you're supposed to do. So I'm not mad about it. But with Wes, seeing his reads be this on point, and he's always been the type of person that's had these good reads. He's just on a show where no one's really like as secretive about it on the challenge. So getting to see him have these upfront reads and just be correct was really cool. And I mean, I don't care for Derek. I never have cared for Derek. If you want more, my extended feelings on Big Brother 16, feel free to at me on Twitter or ask in the comments below, and I will give them to you. But I will say he did some, for the first time in his entire reality TV career, he made good television. So thank you, Derek, for that. Ruined 2 seasons of Big Brother, you stupid.
Yeah, no.
And also ruined an entire generation of Big Brother on top of that. But let's not
go there.
Let's not go there.
But I will say I agree with you, Jack. I think, and see, this is the only flaw that I saw with Wes. Wes, even in every show, like I like how his brain works, but sometimes he doesn't know how to read a room. He thinks his whole Wes persona is what's going to get him through every game, and sometimes that's not the case, especially when you're in games outside of the challenge. He needs to learn how to perform in games outside of the challenge. We even saw it on House of Villains. He was great on House of Villains, but he couldn't seal the deal because he doesn't know how to play within a game of people who are not challenged people. He only knows how to play with these challenged people who deal with politicking all day and, no filter. They come back with this whole bravado. Everybody don't do that. And especially when you're playing with people like a housewife and people who are like, they are all emotional. You have to learn how to play with these emotional people in situations, because the challenge folks, they are jaded. They're not as emotional. They play logically. They play with challenge brains. Housewives, below decks, summer houses, people who don't do that, who are outside of the CBS family of Big Brother and Survivor. And then you got people like Dylan, who's a brother of an actor, and Sam, who's the ex-husband of a celebrity. These people don't play games like that. They don't have those strategic, all the time kind of, my game is, I'm playing the game 24/7. They don't do that. When they stop playing, they stop playing. Like it's all about emotion. And so when Wes threatened everybody, and even me, I was like, that's not really a threat. It was just him telling people, if you vote for me, I'm coming. I don't consider that a threat. I just think that's just the game person to me. Like, that's just what game people say. But for people who don't do that, they were just like, how dare you? You're coming for me? Oh no, you won't come for me. I'm mad at you now, so I'm gonna write your name down. If he would have left that one little part out, I think he probably would have got more. You could attract bees with honey instead of vinegar, and Wes was all vinegar in that moment, and so he repelled people. But I love Wes though. I like Wes.
I will say though, I think last thing before we
move on.
I think had Wes managed to get Rob out here, because he was pretty close.
He was close.
He was real close. Had he managed to get that out here, I do not see a way he doesn't make it to the end.
Oh no, he would have made it.
Unless
he makes it to the end.
100%, he would have made it.
Unless he gets murdered. Murdered. And even then, I don't think that's going to be at the top of Danielle and Danielle and Carolyn's hit list.
Nope.
So
I can't also see him being converted into a traitor either.
Oh, absolutely.
They are immediately afraid of, like, okay, if we convert him, he's going to do some real weird shit, and one of us is going to go home. At least one, if not both of us. So he is essentially locked into being a faithful for the rest of the game. But I think people turn on him anyway at the very end because he's a gamer.
I mean, I would have made him into a traitor just because if I would have been like, oh yeah, make him into a traitor. People already think he's is doing some traitor stuff anyway. So we think him into a traitor, and then we throw him to the wolves and scapegoat him, and he'll be another traitor gone, and nobody's looking at us. Absolutely, I would have made him into a traitor. I would have kept him, but that's neither here nor there. He's gone now. And so traitors still don't know what they're doing. We literally leave the turret without having any idea who they were going to murder. If they were going to murder anybody, they were like, and I was like, is that a part of the rules? Can they just not murder somebody? Could they just have been like, we can't figure out nothing, so nothing.
I'm sure what would have ended up happening is they probably just say, okay, all of you are going to say a name of the person you want to murder. We will then randomize behind the scenes what happens, and then you're all going to agree on this name in post. Like, that's the only way I could realistically see it happening.
I could feel like it would be a situation of like, okay, well, if the three of you all can't agree, then we're going to make you come to some sort of consensus. You can't go to bed until you all figure this out.
Right. Like,
which could have been what happened for all we know. I mean,
yeah,
when it comes down to it, when we're in this turret and we see, Derek's name's getting thrown out, Brittany's name gets brought up. Literally everyone who was available to get murdered, their name gets brought up with some capacity. And for the most part, it's Danielle shutting them down this time of like, don't want to murder Derek, not going to murder Brittany. And I get where they're all coming from. But they do have to make a decision. You can and you will. You know what I mean?
You can and you like it's really at that point. Like you can and you will because you have to do it. And yeah, here's the crazy part for me in that turret. Rob knows Dylan has that shield. And was like, well, what about Dylan? And I'm like, that man got that shield. You doing that so he won't die. He won't die. And everybody be like shocked, like nobody died. And like they must have tried to kill somebody with a shield. They knew Derek didn't have the shield. They knew Dylan had a shield. They knew Carolyn knew she had the shield. And Rob knew.
I want to say, did Rob know that Dylan had a shield?
I want to say Dylan told Rob he had a shield. But
and then Rob wouldn't say. Rob was not going to say. And I think if Rob had managed to convince them to kill Dylan and it bounces, I think that is probably Rob's best game move. Because suddenly Rob can go to Dylan and be like, who did you tell you had a shield? They can't be traitors. Because there's no way that a traitor would intentionally hit a shield unless you're Rob and you're trying to get suspicion off of yourself. And I think that would have worked. That's probably Rob's best line of defense beyond just hitting someone at random.
Probably. I would agree.
Unfortunately, Rob decides to choose his worst line of defense.
Yeah. Rob is interesting to me. He decided to murder Derek.
First off, I just want to hit Rob with one of these real quick. Thank you for doing what needed to be done. Get Derek off my screen. Thank you so much. But from a game perspective, idiot. Why? Because, and this is something that I've thought a few times with Rob. Right? With, I'm going to keep on sending the people that I'm arguing with at the round table, I'm going to murder them. And then it's the bluff of, but if I was a traitor, why would I murder the people that I'm in most contact with? Because obviously that's just going to put suspicion on me. That works once, maybe. If you're lucky.
It works.
You've done it 3 times now, right?
In a row.
And like, granted, I think this actually was really good for Danielle and Carolyn's games, specifically. I get from Danielle's perspective of that's my friend. I don't want to murder this man. But like, realistically, they need to start cutting the people who are confirmed faithfuls at this point. Because now it's getting to that icky part where like no one is going to believe that Dolores is a traitor. No one is going to believe that Chriselle is a traitor. Probably. No one's going to believe that Sam is a traitor. No one's going to believe that Ivor is a traitor.
Right.
You need to start murdering those people because the longer they're in the game, the less likely that you're going to be able to escape getting votes. So I think if I'm them, Derek is probably the last name we can kill that isn't a confirmed faithful that could maybe suss us out down the line. But for Rob, I think this was a terrible move, personally. If I'm Rob in this situation, I'm killing like
Sam.
I think Sam would have been a great choice. I think Dolores would have been a great choice as much as I like Dolores and she is on my rap team. I just think it didn't make any sense to me. I didn't get it.
It didn't make any sense. It should have been somebody who would have taken the look off of him, like, let's kill somebody close, like, or somebody who doesn't, it didn't make sense, who didn't argue with me. Maybe somebody who even voted for me. Like, this person voted for me to stay. And I voting out, killing Dolores would make sense. Dolores she voted Tom, didn't vote Rob. So it's like, why would I kill Dolores if she actually believes that I am a faithful, and that, like, it would have made more sense to kill somebody on that line. But no, he chose Derek. And I was like, well, that looks better, like you said, for Danielle and Carolyn, especially Danielle, because everybody knows, well, most people, I won't say everybody because this episode showed that some people don't know the history, but most people in the game knows how close Derek and Danielle are. And so to see Derek get gone, it looks like, oh, well, Danielle would never kill Derek. That wouldn't happen.
I will say, though, the editors did a decent job because, correct me if I'm wrong, but on no version of the show that we've had so far across international lines and everything, we have never had a situation where the traitors can't decide on a kill. It just hasn't ever happened.
Australia was probably, if you said Australian Traitors season 2, their traitors was very, very dysfunctional, very, very much, probably worse than this one. Like, they had to redo the whole thing because the traitors were outing each other. That's how bad their traitors got. They had to dismantle all of the traitors, restart, and get new traitors because the traitors were outing each other. So they were a little bit more dysfunctional.
So a little more. But I mean, the editors played it really well where they were like, wait, Rob, who's a traitor, and then Dylan and Derek, who people could not agree on killing, none of them make sense to be murdered here. Is no one dead? But I mean, at this point, Rob is a decaying man walking. He's beyond dead. It is literally just a matter of time before he goes home, and there's essentially nothing he can do about it. He's not winning the game anymore.
Well, I mean, and I think he knows that to a degree. He went, and I'm going to be honest, I think his biggest mistake that he has made to this point was getting Bob the Drag Queen out when he did. He did not need to be a part of that. That's the thing. He could have let Dylan and everybody else run that. Not even have to just vote for Bob. Keep your mouth shut. Because at that point, the train was already heading that way anyway. You didn't have to get involved. You didn't have to follow it up, put the nail in the coffin, and help send Bob out the door that way. Just vote for Bob and you're fine. And I think Rob put the target on himself way too early. And I think at this point, he's just he's in this big hole, and he keeps on clearing these little spots where there's not as much dirt where he can try to climb up, but then the rest of the pile is behind him, and it like slowly covers that spot back up, and suddenly he just did more and more dirt as he keeps going down. I don't know how he could have made it out of this right here.
It was crazy. But we do go to breakfast, and unknowing who the people who they were going to murder, they go to breakfast. We find out that it's Derek, and Danielle's crying. Everybody's shocked.
Also featuring one of the funniest moments of the episode where Gabby suggests that Ivor could have been murdered while Ivor is already at breakfast.
Sitting there.
Well, I was just there. I mean, Brittany actually calls him furniture as they walk in. So,
like, nobody, Ivor is just there.
Speaking of, can we also just say Brittany Haynes got like 5 confessionals this week? Thank you, Peacock. We have been blessed.
Thank God.
Thank you.
Thank God.
I mean, they gotta
heard
do
our complaints.
They gotta do better because we know we as Big Brother fans know the confessions that Brittany is able to produce, and we know she gave it to them. We know y'all just got to put it on TV. We know she gave it to us. Just put it out there, and she ate them up. Like she was like, he's furniture. I don't know, like even from when she was just sitting at the breakfast table and they were just not talking. She was just like,
oh. Okay.
Is there jam? It's like, is there jam? I can't.
She's delightful.
I love her. But she was, look, I had never seen somebody so grateful that somebody else walked into that breakfast table than Brittany. She was like, oh, thank God, somebody else is here I can talk to. Because this man right here,
furniture.
I think he makes tea all day. Like, I just love
we got blessed with so many good Brittany one-liners this week.
Oh, yeah.
I just love her.
We'll talk about more of them later.
Oh, yes. But everybody comes in. Derek's gone. Whatever. Everybody's shocked. But, of course, Rob goes into his spiel of, the traitors are trying to set me up. The traitors are trying to set me up. Y'all see what they're doing. They're
Rob, you're not the main character.
It's like, you're not. But, okay.
Sure, Jan.
Right. Absolutely. Like, all right. So they get ready for the mission because, of course, Alan comes in and lets them know that they have to get in pairs because they'll be walking down the aisle. And I'm just going to say this. I am here for the theatrics. I am here for the drama. I'm here for all the dramatic moments, the cinematic flying over the countryside and making everyone dress into their formal best of red and black wedding ensemble. I'm here for it all. And so when they all came out in their gear, I was like, wait, this is something we didn't see on Traitors UK. This was one of the challenges that wasn't the same. So thank you for that. We didn't have the same 2 challenges back to back, or like, oh, I've seen what happens here. This was good. So I was like, okay. And then Alan in his bridal white, I was like, eat. Okay, I'm here for it. And this is so from, like, my sister was watching it and she does not watch Traitors, but somebody just happened to be in the room watching it. She was watching it with them and she was just like, what is with this theatrics? Why is it so dramatic? I was like, it's the Traitors, baby.
It's the Traitors, and also that's just Alan.
That's just
he
Alan.
Enjoys it.
And she was like, I kind of like that. So we might get a new Traitors fan. But it was so theatrical, so dramatic. I loved it. But the challenges, they had to pair up in the pairs, and Alan chose who was going to face each other, which pair was going to face each other. So the pairs were Danielle and Brittany, and they went against Carolyn and Gabby. Dylan and Tom, and they went against
Sam and Ivar.
Right. And then it was Chriselle and Dolores, and they went against Dylan.
Rob and
Sierra. Right. So they all had to go, and they all walked down this aisle. They went to a church, all decked out like it was a wedding. Alan standing there in the veil and all, going to proceed this wedding happening, the joining of hands. So they had to go up to the front, join hands in a box, put on their goggles. Once you tell me to put on goggles, I already know I don't want to do it. When you tell me I had to put on goggles, I'm like, I absolutely don't want to do this.
Honestly, I had seen like just the edge of there's a slight glass box, and I'm like,
I don't want to do this.
We already know where this is going.
Yes.
There's no way that they go.
The second he said you have to hold hands with your partner for 8 minutes, to win $4,500, I'm like, nope. Nope.
It's not worth it.
There's something very wrong with this situation that has not been said yet.
So, also, I would like to point out these boxes are clear glass.
Right?
Yeah. So, importantly, they know by looking at this, right? If I'm a contestant here, right? I'm looking at this box. I'm like, oh crap! What the hell are they putting in that damn box?
Right.
There is no.
Nope.
So when the first people come out with these gifts, right? And they have these like big millipedes. I could have made it through the millipedes. The millipedes, they're cute little bugs. They're fine. I don't care. And even the scorpions, because those are scorpions that don't have pinchers and a stinger, that would have been fine too. When they do the rain of maggots and cockroaches, I'm fucking out. I am done. I am gone. I have a limit. The limit is cockroaches. I'm gone.
My limit.
Cockroaches?
It was cockroaches in there.
I
It was
thought
maggots and
mealworms and
cockroaches.
crickets.
Nope. Mealworms, crickets, and cockroaches.
Oh, okay.
And maggots.
And maggots.
And
Yeah.
maggots. Yeah, just like the gross bugs you can think of, those.
Ugh, I will just say, I'm out. I would have been Chriselle in this moment. Don't pick me, because if you pick me, we're losing. And I'm taking, like, the second they show me the first one and try to put it on my hand, I'm out. I don't do bugs. So I would have failed this challenge so fast, and I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, I don't care. Y'all can be mad at me. Murder me. I don't care. I'm just not doing
Murder
that.
me, because at least that's not real death.
Right. This would have killed me. I mean, even if I forced my way through the worms and the scorpions and the cockroaches, the second they pulled out that snake, I'm done.
In
Maybe.
fact, out of the woods, you're gonna leave. Done.
I will be 100% honest. Out of everything they did there, the only thing that would have made me quit were the cockroaches. Because snakes are cool. Snakes are our friends.
Those snakes are there is no universe where I will let you put a snake around my neck. There's
Okay,
no
but Lana, can you at least say that you appreciate snakes because they eat all the little bugs and all the rodents, so that way there are less of them?
I can care less. I don't want any. I don't want. Snakes are my biggest fear. Like, if I ever see a snake, snakes and rats petrified. Like,
Trust me. I remember that one extermination from Dragula last year that you could not watch.
No, I can't do it. I won't do. I have never seen Ratatouille for that reason. Not even cartoons. I can do it. I can't do snakes and rats on anything. Willard, no, thank you. Willow, whatever it is, no, thank you.
So
like,
Sue Hawk would just be like,
no, Snakes on a Plane, no, thank you. Anaconda, all those movies, no. I'm not. No, I can't do it. I cannot do it, and you cannot pay me enough to do it. Like those things where they just like, face your fears. Let's face your fears. We're gonna get through this together. I will never face that fear.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I would like to give Rob some slight props here.
Yes,
because Sierra was freaking out. They already had the shield at this point. Chriselle pieced out like 15 seconds in.
Me,
was like,
I'm Chriselle.
Before even the first giant millipede,
it didn't even touch her hand.
Was in the box, period. She was like, and I'm done. I'm good. I don't need to do this. We're good.
That's me. I would have saw the goggles in the box. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it.
We're gonna be up for murder. Sorry.
Yeah. But so Rob and Sierra already have their shield, but in order to get the money, Rob is like gently talking to Sierra about literally anything to distract her. And I will say, this was an OG move, Rob. That was very kind of you. Even if you were entirely self-interested and just wanted to get more money for the prize pot, I respect the fact that you were at least trying to help her in this moment instead of just like, no, you're keeping this box. Because Sierra's during this thing. Not that I can blame her, to be honest. But everyone else, for the most part, is doing. Carolyn's a little freaked out by it. For the most part, I was just kind of fine with it.
Yeah, I do. Rob was doing really well. He knew what he had. He knew he had to talk her through it, or she would have been out. She would have been gone. And so Rob was like, "So when's your birthday?" "Oh, my birthday is Christmas. So. What restaurant are we going to when we get to New York?" Like, it was such a cool moment. I appreciated that from Rob because, like you said, even though it was for selfish reasons, for the money, everybody was there for the money. So I can't get mad for you trying to make that money because you want to get to the end and make the money. But I thought that was a good moment. Brittany and Danielle shocked me so much. Like, they were so stoic in that moment. They did not scream. They weren't flinching. They weren't screaming. They were just like, just close your eyes and just deal with it. Just close your eyes and deal with it. We got this. We got this. We can do this. It's all right. Carolyn, on the other hand, as much as she says she got this, I was like, Carolyn, girl.
And I mean, Gabby's the exact same way. Like, we can
but Gabby did so much better
the whole time.
Can we compare the shows these two were on real quick?
Yes.
Gabby was a bachelorette. Okay, no shade to anyone in the Bachelorette franchise. But if I was going to talk about like a frou-frou, you are fully taken care of reality show, the Bachelor Nation is near the top of that list. Okay, Carolyn, girl, you were on Survivor.
You slept with bugs every day.
That's what I'm saying.
Every day.
Girl, you were in the Fijian jungle in a little shelter, a little tiny little hut of a shelter, and you're telling me that these bugs are freaking you out more than they're freaking out an ex-bachelorette? No, ma'am.
Also, Carolyn is just naturally loud. Even if it didn't scare her, it is going to sound like someone who is getting murdered. Like, there's not exactly much you can do with Carolyn. It's gonna be that way. But I mean,
you are correct. You are
both
correct.
of them make it through.
They do. They make it through. We have to do the.
I mean, we also have Sam and Ivar, who.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't care.
They don't care.
They genuinely find this hilarious and have
Ivar,
no issue throughout.
Here's the thing: Ivar is crazy. Was true for me because he's a royal, y'all. Let's not be on. Let's not act like he grew up in the country and used to bug. He's a royal, and he's been a royal his whole life, and so he has a little bit of poshness, a little sophistication that some other people may not have. And so for him to be getting wailed on by rains of bugs and bugs put on him, and he's just like, "Oh, it's fine. It's okay." But I was very impressed by him a little bit. But him and Sam was just like, "It is what it is. Let's just do it.
It is what it is. We're gonna make money."
Tom was struggling a little bit, but not to the point where we knew I knew he wasn't gonna give up. But he's just like, oh.
I honestly think because he had a top hat on, he didn't quit.
Absolutely.
If it was in his hair, because the top hat was like so widely brimmed, I mean, it probably went down his shirt a little bit, but it wasn't as much compared to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Dylan is just enjoying this. Dylan is like, "Yeah, we do this for fun. Like, none of this matters."
Books all the time.
I will say, if we ever get like a celebrity survivor, Dylan Efron would be a.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Because no shade to Dylan, he is just B-list enough to make that work. But also, I feel like he would actually be like a good survivor player.
I think Dylan would do regular Survivor. Like, he wouldn't even need celebrity Survivor status. He would just do Survivor just to do it because he enjoys that kind of thing.
I just want Celebrity Survivor so I can have an excuse to see Keisha Knight Pulliam on my screen for Survivor.
Not doing Survivor.
Girl, she has done every other celebrity reality show on the planet. Why would she not do Celebrity Survivor?
The same reason I would not do any Survivor. If she is bougie like me, we could do anything else. I will do any other show, but Survivor is the last show I would ever do. Ever. I don't do out. She is bougie. She's bougie like me, and it's okay to be bougie. Even if you broke and bougie, I'm broke and bougie. She at least richer than me and bougie. She ain't doing Survivor. She couldn't even hang on Big Brother. You think she gonna do Survivor? No.
Well, she just had a baby.
She ain't gonna do it. She ain't gonna do it.
Beside the point.
Anyway, right.
But
we go to sudden death because everybody makes it through and makes the money. So props on them. They all make their
almost
money.
Everybody.
Well,
Except Prashelle and Dolores, because Prashelle said, hey. I was like, I'm with you, girl. But everybody pretty much makes the money. And so they have to go to sudden death to see who's going to get the shields. And so they drop a ring in the box covered with a bunch of more worms and the bugs that they had to pour it in there. And so now it's your turn to go and shift through these bugs and find the ring. The first couple to find the ring and put it on the finger gets the shield. Cool. So Ivar and Sam gets their ring first. They get the shield. Bam. And then Danielle and Brittany also finds their ring first. They get the shield. Great. Mm-hmm. So Carolyn, Gabby, Chriselle, Dolores, and Dylan and Tom are up. They are possible to be murdered tonight if they make it through the round table. So it is what it is. None of those people were in danger. Too tough of getting banished at this.
It literally is like the most innocent people on this cast, besides maybe Carolyn. Maybe, but even then, actually, maybe Dylan. Dylan is probably the one person out of that entire group that people could realistically suspect is a traitor, and it's just been playing it really well, but especially with some hinky votes that he's thrown.
I will say this is a gift for Danielle and Carolyn.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
because you don't have to. You have plenty of sacrificial faithfuls that you can throw to the slaughter. Everything will be fine. And I'm happy for them. I'm thrilled for them.
Yeah,
really.
Absolutely. So, and here's the thing. I don't know about y'all. It felt like we was moving through this episode really quickly. Like it felt very less fluff, a lot of just right to the point of it all. Mm-hmm. We saw some conversations, but we didn't see a lot of conversations. We did see Dylan pull Rob aside and let him know that Derek did say that if he felt he was going to be murdered, and the two people who he thought were traitors was Rob and Brittany. So when Rob heard that, he quickly was like, cool, Brittany is going to be my scapegoat. Brittany is going to be the person who I'm going to push out there, and because it can't be me. And Dylan was even like, and I won't say your name to people when I tell them the story because I don't think you're a traitor. So yeah. We're all looking at Dylan like, oh, poor baby.
And I mean, most of the strategizing after the challenge is really just Rob, Brittany. And that's pretty much all we hear. We don't hear any other names. Nope. Nobody else gets brought up. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, yep, this is about to go down at the round table, isn't it? It's about to be great.
Absolutely. And then we do see Tom is like, because Tom was the one, even at the beginning of the episode, was kind of like, something seems off. It seems off that Derek is gone, and Bob H is gone, and Wes is gone, and Bob the drag queen is gone, and the person who went after all those people and all these people who went after him has one thing in common, is Rob. And I kind of feel like Rob is a traitor at this point. And Tom was telling people, and here's the thing, y'all, never in my wildest dreams did I think I was going to sit here on this here podcast on Beyonce's internet and give Tom Sandoval any type of praise, because I never wanted to do that, because Ariana Madix is my girl and you're not going to do that. But here I am saying, people, listen to Tom. That sounds weird coming out of my mouth.
I feel that, but like, you're right. Because in this moment, right, I was sitting here, I'm like, y'all, don't make me have to agree with Tom Sandoval. But I'm not mad. I think he was right on the money here.
He was.
He literally said, look, why are we not voting this man out? Like, he's been, like, the past 5 people that have went home. 5. That's counting banishments too. When we have Bob, Robin, Nikki, and then we had 6 people. Then we had Wes, and we have Bob Harper, and now Derek, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All of them have said Rob's name to some degree, right? Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
And when Tom's saying, look, he's saying that the traitors are trying to paint him as a scapegoat. And right now, granted, they banished half of those people, right? They banished Bob the drag queen fairly because Bob was a traitor. They banished Nikki and they banished Wes, right? But who got the ball rolling on a decent chunk of that? Rob.
Yeah.
Right? And Tom's like, there's just too much evidence for me to ignore. And like, I like Rob. Rob's a cool dude, but I think he's a traitor.
Right. And
Tom, I can't believe I'm saying this. Tom Sandoval did something good on reality TV.
Look,
he made sense.
Simply put, it takes a supervillain to get rid of a supervillain. And for some reason, Tom was the one that we needed.
It was because everybody else was so snowed by Rob. Like Ciara and Dylan and Chriselle and Dolores even just could not see past it. They were like, nah, he's not it. They were fighting for Rob. Like this, Ciara was like, this doesn't make any sense. Why do we keep going after Rob? Why do we do this? This is dumb. This is stupid. Y'all are just doing this and it's not making any sense. And I'm like, oh, if we never get rid of him, you will never know how silly you look on TV right now, girl.
Can we just jump to the roundtable? Because
yes,
I feel like
that's what we're.
It feels like we're kind of already there.
Specifically in the roundtable, though, because Dylan starts the conversation. He mentions the whole Derek said that if he got murdered, it was Rob and Brittany were his suspicions, and then he quickly shifts the focus to Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing deflections from Brittany in this roundtable.
Absolutely.
Brittany says, I don't open my mouth because I'm usually wrong with my suspicions. My suspicions have been proven wrong time and time again. I'm not going to open my mouth unless I'm sure. 1. And then 2, one of my favorite things in this roundtable is Brittany says, look, this is the same conversation we have had at the last 3 roundtables. Here's what's going to end up happening tonight if you vote me out. You vote me out, I go to the circle, I get revealed as a faithful, someone else gets killed by Rob, and then it'll happen
sitting here again.
We're going to be sitting here again. Why are we not just getting Rob out now to stop the pattern here? And I'm like,
incredible.
I literally said, and I quote, hold on one second. Wait. I have the clip for this. Hold on. Wait. Where is it at? I can't find it. Wait. I passed it. Where is it? Damn it. I can't find it.
I don't know.
Oh, well, whatever. I had a clip and I can't find it.
Was it a sound bite?
Yes, and I cannot find it. Oh, there it is.
Mama kudos for saying that, for spilling. Mama kudos for saying.
Yes.
Which, just to bring it up only because you did it, we need Plain Jane on next season. Anyway, yeah, no, I mean, even still, we're seeing Rob put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob has also convinced Danielle and Carolyn last night to basically be like, we are a team once again. You are not going to vote me. And both of them, even though this really strong evidence is being proposed, it's like, I could vote Brittany, I guess, but I don't really want to do that. But is it better for the team? Like, Rob is not only playing against the faithfuls, but he's also playing against the traitors who are looking to take him out and have been looking. I'm not saying it worked because it didn't. It didn't in the slightest. But Rob is putting on a pretty strong masterclass of how to attempt to defend yourself without the previous intent of you have done this 3 roundtables in a row, it's not working.
I'll be honest. Rob lost the point this week to me because these past 2 roundtables when Rob is getting suspicion thrown on him, and honestly the past 3, even though Bob's was definitely retaliatory, right? Rob has kept it logical and coherent.
Yep.
Here, his thing was never explaining why he wasn't a traitor. It was explaining why he thought Brittany was a traitor. And like, because she's the only person I can think of that could make a move of this caliber of trying to frame me for getting Derek killed. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, Bud,
That's
one,
not
all you're
even-
doing right now is driving up your own ego here because you're talking about the quality of your move, which is gross. But then on top of that, too, all you're doing is making people think you're a traitor in this situation by saying that. Because I remember when the whole Robin and Wells thing happened, right? Robin was saying, I think it was a great move for them to kill Dorinda because it caused confusion. And that made Wells suspicious of her. Now, granted, Wells was the person that ended up going home in that situation, not Robin. But it didn't help Robin's target level in the game. So Rob didn't do any favors for himself by continuing to focus in on Brittany. I get that he saw it as his only way out at this point, but he's still hyper-focusing on this when he just shouldn't.
Here's the thing about Rob in this situation for me. I felt like Rob was just really trying very hard to make it where, like you said, it was Brittany, it's Brittany, it's Brittany, instead of saying why I'm not the traitor. And I think that's what people were looking for, because the way Tom worded it and put it out there and framed it, it was like, listen, I think you're a great guy, Rob. I think you're fine. I enjoy having you around. But the evidence that is stacked against you that Derek brought, it's just too concrete and too solid for me to look the other way and act like that's not a possibility for you to be that. And instead of Rob saying, okay, this is why I am not this traitor, because why would I do this? This is not something what I've done. This is not, he was like, well, the person who we should be looking at is Brittany, because Brittany's a gamer and da-da-da. I'm like, you can't say somebody else is a gamer when you are a gamer yourself. Like, your game, Brittany ain't won a single show. She was good, close to it, but she ain't won. You have. So how are you, Mr. Winning Gamer, going to talk to somebody who hasn't won a game to say that they are a gamer? It's just wild. And look, since we bringing up clips and things that we want to show, this for me is just.
We should all aspire to have the confidence of a straight white man.
Because how are you going to say that, sir? And like you said, boost up your own move and try to put it off on somebody else when you've done it 3 times in a row. Like, you sat at this same round table 3 times in a row and did the same move over and over and over again. And now it's finally catching up to you, and you want to act like, well, she's a gamer too. What? Like, no, that's not how any of this works. That's not how any of this works. And so I was like, Rob, you just messed up here. And I was hoping, and here, this is what got me, y'all. This is what got me. And I was like, what is Dylan going to do? Because Dylan likes Brittany and Dylan likes Rob. Rob is a very close ally. He don't want to say Rob did it, but he, in his mind, I know he felt like Rob could possibly do it. He saw the evidence. He heard the evidence. And even if your friend is your friend, if you had enough evidence against him, you're like, is this it? I know you're my friend, but is this really it? And so I think it was in his head, and he listened to Brittany, and Brittany was very convincing. She was very convincing at that round table. I was like, kudos to you, mama. You are eating this round table up right now. And she was very convincing, and he kind of was like, well, but she makes sense. She makes sense. But she makes sense. And when he voted for Gabby, I was like, this is the end of days.
Well, we're sitting there watching it happen, right? When the votes start coming in, and we got a few votes thrown on Tom. Also, quick note: Tom Sandoval, very impressive in this roundtable.
Period.
We
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
really give him his flowers, but he ate it up. And again, we don't like saying these things about Tom Sandoval. So please note that we are saying this begrudgingly, but honestly, he did very well here.
He did very well.
Tom Sandoval in this game is doing amazing. Tom Sandoval in the real world sucks. Anyway,
Tom Sandoval in this
episode, this game.
Others,
but I'm even going to be blunt here too. He's just playing the same game that everyone else has been playing that isn't Dylan or a traitor that's still left in this house. The only difference is he actually woke the hell up.
Absolutely.
So, like, I will say, out of the people left in this house, he's played one of the best games in the castle. I don't want to admit that because, quite frankly, it makes me sick to my stomach. But I'm not going to lie. And I think them taking him, can we just move to the next slide here? Them finally getting the votes to send Rob home was fantastic for not only Tom, because I think that's going to actually increase Tom's chances of making it a few rounds, because I don't think they're going to have the option to murder him anytime soon, because now he's, like in that I could be a traitor because I have a little bit of game sense kind of mode. But also on top of that, you got Rob out, and that kind of opens the field up a little bit more.
A whole lot.
And also, thank you so much to everyone who cast a vote for Rob Mariano this week on the Traitors. You all are the MVPs of this season, because I have at least a few episodes where I don't have to watch Boston Rob on the Traitors this year. Thank you. Thank you so much. And also, no Derek either. I'm winning.
This episode, literally within 2 episodes, we went from all of the big dogs being in the game to none of them. And that is wild. I expect them to fall pretty gradually. But once the first one fell, it was literally dominoes. It was over.
I mean, the fact that they brought all 3 of them in for a special, entrance into the game, and all of them are out right now is wild. Now, would I say those 3 were the big dogs? They were big dogs enough, but it's more big dogs in there. And now they just happen to be the loudest dogs. They were just the loud. Like, Rob was the loudest dog, but he wasn't the biggest dog. And I think, because if we're going to be honest, the big dog right now, or the big dog who has been that since there, it's been Carolyn. To be honest, straight up, Carolyn has been the big dog, because everybody who left that house has been shocked. There has not been one person who has left that castle who was like, I thought Carolyn was a traitor. I knew she was a traitor. Everybody's been shocked. Everybody's been shocked that Carolyn was it. Danielle had some heat on her from Jeremy. Jeremy thought it was Danielle. So people have thought Danielle. People considerably thought Rob. So, but.
And I also want to give Danielle and Carolyn some props here.
Yes.
I have seen a lot of negative discourse around how Danielle is playing this game online.
Yes.
But I'm going to be real. I get it, I think.
I do too.
And I think part of it, and maybe this is just me, maybe I'm just trying to gas up Danielle and I shouldn't be. But honestly, messy traitor games don't work a lot of the time, because usually you get targeted. But the thing is, it's been very much a controlled mess. My WWE fans will know we used to call Kofi Kingston Controlled Frenzy back in the day. Right? Yes. Like, there's something about the way Danielle is playing this game that still feels calculated, even if it's been messy as hell, right? Because at the end of the day, right, she's still here. She is doing something correct. And I think we have to acknowledge the fact that just because it's not like Suri levels of social tactfulness does not mean she's not playing the game fantastically, in my opinion. Now, I still think Carolyn has been eating everybody up every week.
Oh, yeah.
No lies. But when I look at the field of who's left in this house, who's going to come after Danielle?
I genuinely don't see it. The only reason I can see that happening is it maybe, and this is a hard maybe, if someone suspects Brittany and they need another person to look at of like, well, why hasn't Brittany gone out yet? Like, Brittany's been here for too long. And maybe that we have a very awkward situation this episode where we kind of inadvertently form, via the challenge, we form 5 pairs. But I think we also reveal the full win cons of every traitor left in the game. If Carolyn can get to the end with Gabby probably never betrays Carolyn.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen. In the same vein, Brittany never probably betrays Danielle. Like I can't really see that happening at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, the same thing I think with Rob and Sierra. I think Sierra would have never betrayed Rob because she was all in on Rob. So yeah, I think you're right about that.
I think the other thing too now with the way the murder is this week, because it's face to face, we found out, which doesn't really add much to it other than just the drama, which I'm here for. It's the
just drama.
I wish they could do this every week, because David, one of our fellow podcast members, he said that he wishes they would just murder face to face every week. I fully agree. I like that for drama. But here in this particular situation, I thought about it, right? Mm-hmm. And I honestly think their best move is killing Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to get to this point, right? Because Dylan is a very good gamer, right? Out of the people left who's not a traitor, Dylan is the best gamer. Would we all agree?
Agree.
Okay. Other than Brittany,
I would agree with that.
Other than Brittany. But Brittany is completely with the Danielle camp at the moment. So she's kind of not being considered here. I think Dylan is the best gamer left. And if it's me, I'm taking out Dylan. And because Dylan voted for Gabby, you have an option dependent on Gabby. You could also maybe go after Sierra, because Sierra is the last person from the coffins that's still in the house. They could go after Tom, because quite frankly, Tom has kind of outlived his usefulness. I think killing Dylan really opens up the field even wider than killing one of these confirmed faithfuls. Because let's be honest, they're not going to get away with killing Dolores. They're not going to get away consistently over time, right? They need a few of those votes that they still have loyal to them to stay loyal to them. And if they kill one of those people, it's not going to work. Dylan is one of the very few, like, I'm going of my gut and I'm going to move other people to my side people left in the game. A lot of these people are still followers. And if you kill one of the remaining leaders, you can kind of position the game to your liking. And if Danielle and Carolyn are real about this, I'm going to have your back thing, which we'll see. I don't believe it. I don't buy it for a second. I believe it more from Danielle than Carolyn.
I do too.
But if it goes that way, I think they need to get Dylan out sooner rather than later.
I tend to agree with you. My only question to that is because Dylan was in trust with all 3 traitors. He trusted Danielle, he trusted Rob, he trusts Carolyn. So it's like, do you kill Dylan when he could be potentially someone you could take with you who will never suspect you? Or do you kill him because he's close to you and that will take the suspicion off you? So I think it could go either way. And I think Carolyn says it best in this episode at the end. She was like, we could kill any of them and all of them we have a good reason, a legit reason to kill all of them. So we could kill any of them and I would have no problem doing any of them. And I think that's the good mindset you have to go in as a traitor. Like, anybody, these people can go. And it doesn't matter to me as long as we kill the right person that makes sense for us as traitors. So I agree with you, Brooke. I think Dylan is a viable option to go for all the reasons that you said. But I also think he might be a reason to keep him for all the reasons that I said. So it could go either way for Dylan. I think, and I do agree with you about Dolores and even maybe Chriselle, but I feel like killing one of them wouldn't be so bad either, to just take the heat away from anybody, but
I think if you're going to kill anybody else, I think the option would be Chriselle.
yeah,
Personally, because again, nobody is going to buy the Dolores as a traitor. They're just not. And we've seen that time and time again. It's the same thing with like Ivor. It's the same thing with like Sam, right? Where people are just they're not buying it. And I think Chriselle is the only other person we've seen have these like strategic conversations at the round table.
mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to kill Tom. I think Tom is going to get banished. I don't think they have to worry about that.
I agree with that.
But because I don't think anybody in this house is going to let him win this money.
No.
Straight up.
I mean, my honest thought was potentially they banish Tom to basically tell the rest of the group, because a lot of them keep their heads down. If they bop the person who had essentially spoken up when he didn't need to, that might also give them an edge of like, yeah, no, if you talk at this point, you're going to die. Do not say anything, because everyone else is kind of quiet. But I do think Chriselle is probably the best option, because then it's like, oh, now that Boston Rob is gone,
That was who
Tom
was
is the
protected.
one leading it.
Mm.
So
Yeah, Chriselle
now
was a Rob faithful. Mm-hmm.
we can roll and then pin it back on Tom, get a round done.
But I also think that there's going to be the conversation of, oh, well, if Tom has been a traitor this long, how is Chriselle still here? And if they kill Chriselle now, it's going to look weird. Again, we're
Maybe.
approaching this game from a very different perspective than I think they are.
Yes.
Personally, I think if it were me, I would want to recruit as soon as possible, because I think there are a lot of people you could throw under the bus.
We scapegoat.
Yeah, like I imagine they just recruit like Dolores, right?
That's what I would do.
Because Dolores is so unsuspecting that if you do somehow manage to get the votes to get out Dolores, right? And Dolores is a traitor, anybody could be a traitor. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many options here.
But the question is, does Dolores accept? Because you would have the option to.
I would feel like no.
Reject it.
No, Dolores never accepts. And
I feel
think
like she would accept if it was a situation of you either accept or you get murdered.
Oh, yeah. But they're not there yet.
but
They're not at that point yet.
The only reason that ever occurs is at the end game, where there is one person who more than likely already has heat on them, and they need to make sure they have a finale. Like, they are not going to force that unless it is literally about to be the end. I mean,
per the rules of the traitors, as long as there are two traitors, they have the option to seduce, and the person has the option to not take it. Now, when it's one person left, they will do you have to take it or you die sort of situation. So, as of right now, with Carolyn and Danielle there, the person who they seduce will have the option to either accept it or reject it. So, and I think Dolores is that person that will be like, nah, I don't want to do it. Especially after being a faithful for this long, I don't think she would want to do it. Now, if Wes was there, he would have took it quick, fast, in a hurry. Absolutely, he want to be. I'm trying to think of anybody who would want to be a traitor at this point, and I don't think there's anybody who would accept it right now.
There is.
I think Sierra would. Honestly, I think Sierra would, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Sierra just lost Rob, right? And I think she's going to try to look for somebody to latch onto. Now, do I think that's good for her game? Absolutely not. But I think knowing that Sierra doesn't have, I mean, she has Chriselle, right? But she doesn't really have anybody super close to her anymore. I feel like she would almost have to pick somebody to grab towards. She doesn't have Rob. She doesn't really have anybody at the moment. And I think that if they did offer her, she would take it. I think they would scapegoat her and send her right out the door.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which I think is what they should do in that situation.
Full scapegoating, and it is a mistake for accepting for anyone on this cast.
I don't think it is for anyone.
Actually,
I think Brittany can be it.
Brittany would be a good.
Brittany would be one.
Brittany would be a good drag in, but then it turns 2-1 on
Yep.
Carolyn, and
Yep.
Carolyn goes out.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why
there's no way in hell
Carolyn
Carolyn would agree
So-
to it.
Carolyn would
But-
never
So-
agree to Brittany. Carolyn would
In that-
never agree.
I think
in that
the other
way-
option here is maybe they try to seduce Sam.
Yeah.
Because if I'm Sam, right? Because
Mhm.
Sam has, let's be real,
Nothing.
Sam has done furniture.
Nothing.
But I think if I'm furniture and somebody offers me a chance to be a trader,
I'm taking it.
sure, why not? Right? With somebody like Sam, Ivor, no, he would never.
No.
But Sam would do it, I think. I think he'd think it would be fun. And I think, as much as we don't care for Sam, right? I don't have any negative personal feelings.
Me
towards
either.
Sam.
Me either.
So I wouldn't mind it. I think he's like a goofy little dude.
I think
And-
he'll do it, and I don't think he'll think about the scapegoat aspect of it, like we are talking, because like that's where our brain goes. Like if anybody becomes traders, they're gonna be the scapegoat right now. I don't think he'll think that. He'll just be like, "Oh, they want me to be a trader? Sure, I'll do it. Seems fun." And he won't think about the fact that they'll be like, "Okay, yeah, you're in," until we need somebody to get out, and then it's you. But
Well, Lana, I do have a question for you though, right?
yes,
So Jack and I have talked about who we think is going to go home, who we think should go home next week. Who, if you had to guess right now, who do you think it would be?
I think it's probably going to be between Dylan and Chriselle. I think one of them are going home.
Mhm.
I think they're going to get murdered, and it will be the right move. I think for one of them to go at this point. I think unfortunately it's one of them.
I'd respect the hustle if it was Dolores.
I would respect it too. If it
I
was
would
Dolores.
respect it as well. I do
Mm.
think that is the third best option.
I'll tell you the option I think is absolutely the worst is them killing Sam. As much as I think Sam should have been gone
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Well, Sam is
Um,
safe right now.
Sam is
So-
safe right now. Sam is safe this week.
This week.
I think next week, cut his throat, send him out the door. But I think they need to kill somebody that can kind of put the heat on somebody else. I don't know who killing Sam puts the heat on, unfortunately.
No one, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Because
the,
the
I
only
think
thing
the correct answer is Chriselle.
yeah.
Yeah.
The answer is Chriselle because it gives a target for everyone to look at.
Well, but the other option with me is that you have to do something that's going to convince Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't matter what the rest of these people think. If Dylan is still here, he's going to be controlling the narrative of the Faithfuls. We've seen it before. So if you kill Dylan, you remove the option for the Faithful narrative. You see who else steps up. It'll probably be Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably going to be wrong.
Right.
Just based off of odds and stuff.
right.
There's not much to go off of here. He might just go straight for Gabby because Gabby got a vote from Dylan and she's going to be, in his mind, short-sighted. And they'll just try to kill Gabby.
Honestly, I say kill Dolores, pin it on Tom. Tom gets banished. You move.
I think Tom's
honestly-
going next week either way. I think he's going
Right,
to
that's what I'm saying. Especially if they kill Dolores, because Dolores was one of the two people that voted for him and Chriselle. So either one of those, they go. Tom is the main suspect for a lot of people. So, but
All right.
we do have a draft update. There, we will talk about that. Let's put this up.
This is interesting.
This is very interesting because me and Brook and I are tied right now with 4.5 points. Not 40.5 points in this draft. And Jack, you're right behind us. It's very, very close.
Yeah.
We're very super duper close, like closer than I thought it was. Because at first we were like, "Oh, Jack's running away with this," and then all of a sudden Jack started falling like flies, just drop left and right. And so
we can officially confirm that Logan's team of 2 people has also been eliminated.
yep, Logan's 2 team person is gone. Wes and Derek both gone.
Basically one episode.
One
Yeah.
episode, 2 episodes, they were gone.
Mhm.
But I have left Danielle and Sierra and Dylan and Sam. Brooke has Brittany, Dolores, Chriselle, and Tom. And Jack is hanging on with Carolyn and Ivar
And Gabby.
And Gabby.
and Gabby. So
At
that's-
this point, it is
That's
anybody's
also
game.
why I think I'm probably in a good position because I have
yes,
Carolyn and Gabby. They are always going to work together, and Ivar is furniture.
Yes.
Hey, but you know what? You know what furniture does? It sits around, and that's what you need him to do at this point.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, I just need him to give me points.
Because
Yeah.
all of our names, the people who are on me and Brook's team, their names are out there. They're floating around, and people are looking at a lot of them.
Mhm.
So we'll
I'm
see.
the only person that's not had a trader all season.
You have
So
not.
I've not had a single trader. So what I'm hoping is that Danielle and Carolyn can't keep this truce very long. They go after each other, get each other thrown out. They end up recruiting like
Gabby.
Chriselle, and then Gabby's on Jack's team. And then recruiting Chriselle, and then that's how it goes. But I'm excited for next week. I'm excited for the face-to-face murders. They're always my fave.
Absolutely.
They're just fun.
It's just fun to see.
It's literally just set dressing on the exact same thing we've had all the time anyway. So you're not going to complain.
I love it. But we will be back next week to talk about episode 8 of The Traitors. We appreciate you spending this time with us. We talked a little bit longer than I thought we were, but that was because it was such a good it was an episode that needed to be talked about and examined and broken down fully.
And we also we went from a very narrow game to a very open game.
Very, very much.
I honestly can see basically anyone but Sandoval winning on this cast.
Absolutely. I can almost see him in a
I
minute.
can even see Sandoval winning.
I can also see Sandoval winning, but I don't think they do that morally.
I don't think they would allow
Not
that.
after this shit.
I don't think Sandoval can make it past the final 4. I think if we get to that fire, everybody's just going to vote to get him out because nobody wants him to have money regardless of context.
Right.
But it's a really interesting time. I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Absolutely. So we appreciate you watching. If you've enjoyed your time with us, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video, because we're going to be putting out videos constantly trying to get you to subscribe to us, because we want to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So please do that. Follow all of our other channels. Those links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. You can follow all of us on our socials. They're down there as well. You can get your merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Remember what I said earlier? If you order one now, it's coming. Just a little slow, but it's coming because I have to get my Etsy shop together, and that's on me, but it's coming. So get your merch, and we're going to get out of here. So cheers, y'all.
Cheers.